Hey everyone, a movie you need to check out is Sound of Freedom. I finally had the opportunity tonight to go see it. Uh, it just got to my nearest theater tonight, and so yeah, I meant to go to it sooner, just didn't work out. It's been out for about a month and a half. It's very intense, it's very raw, it's very real. It's based on a real story, something that really happened. A guy went out and saved many kids from, all that kind of thing. I guess it's a faith-based movie in a way. It's not about God. It has Christian values. There was some language in it which surprised me. It didn't like say the F word or take God's name in vain, but yeah. I don't know. It's not like anything else you're going to see in a theater. Like, this isn't a movie. It's a movie, but it's so real. And it's very cringy. Like, you cringe a lot 'cause there's all these bad people doing these really, really bad things, and it's hard to watch sometimes. But yeah, I highly recommend it. It's very good. Now, there's something that's been bothering me. All right, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's this. It was viral recently, where someone was going around telling people that the people who made it or funded it, they were saying the producers were like pedophiles or child traffickers themselves, and so they're like, don't go watch this movie. These people are just doing this as a cover, and if you read the article headlines and don't look any further into it, that's what it sounds like. That's just the enemy trying to get people to not see this movie. Why would people actually doing this thing promote this huge thing, spreading so much awareness about what they're doing? Like, I'm sure child traffickers don't want people to know about this. I'm sure they don't want people trying to stop them, all right? I guarantee you the people who made this movie are not the people that are the bad guys in this movie, all right? So I need to go a little bit further into that. There is some truth to those articles. There was a guy that donated money to this movie, all right? At some point, could have been like 5 years ago, I don't know, because this movie was supposed to come out in 2018. So this movie ended up being a crowd-funded movie, and so I don't know how many people sent money to it, if it was thousands, hundreds of thousands, or what. I didn't look that far into it. But there is one guy who just very recently got, like a couple weeks ago or less, got arrested or something because he was something like a pedophile or child trafficker or something. And so everyone's going around online, it's like viral, saying that the producer of this movie is one of them. And it's like, technically, but there's like thousands and thousands of people that made this movie happen. They have no idea. The people who actually made the movie don't know this guy, all right? They don't know the people who fund it. These are just everyday, anyone could have funded it, sent money in, just like a GoFundMe. And it just so happened that one guy did it, and now it's going around, and I'm sure there's people who haven't seen it because of that, and that's a shame, because that little detail changes everything. When you understand that it's not the people who made it, it's just some random guy that they don't even know that maybe donated $5 to it. I don't know. And why did he do it? I don't know. If he did it years ago, maybe he wasn't like that back then. Maybe he really did it as like a cover or something. Who cares? I'm sure he's behind bars now, and that doesn't change anything about the movie or who made the movie. It just was so frustrating seeing those articles, seeing everyone post that on Facebook, like, don't see this movie, these people who funded or produced it are pedophiles. They're hypocrites, and it's like, no, no, these are great people trying to spread awareness to one of the worst things going on in the last so many years. I mean, it just, I mean, I don't even know what to say to that. Like, it's unfortunate, really. Like, there's no way the people who made it would actually be pedophiles. That wouldn't make any sense. It's just some random guy that they don't even know. They don't go through the hundreds of thousands of people who send money to this and go do this detailed, background checks on everyone. And he hadn't even been that person. He hadn't been a pedophile, or at least not caught until just like after the movie came out. So, like, what are they gonna do? It's not their fault. Like, they want him behind bars, obviously. That's the whole point of the movie. It's just bizarre. It's like, did that guy even know what the movie was that he was funding? I don't know. But yeah, it's a good movie. And just because it's a faith-based movie doesn't mean it's going to be some cheesy, corny, low-quality thing. This isn't that kind of movie. This isn't a comedy. This is a very serious subject, and they take it very seriously. There's only one funny thing in the movie. I don't want to give that away, but yeah, I mean, it's intense. It's heart-wrenching, and there's a message at the end. During the credits, the guy, Jim Caviezel, he goes through this whole thing talking about it, so I would recommend staying for that. But yeah, go check it out if you can. Yeah, I think that's about it. Just know that God's children are not for sale.
I want to thank you all for coming out and watching this movie. I'm guessing some of you are feeling sad, maybe overwhelmed, or even a sense of fear, which is understandable. But living in fear isn't how we solve this problem. It's living in hope. It's believing that we can make a difference because we can. But I want to make one thing clear. This movie you just watched isn't about me or Tim Ballard. It's about those kids. Steve Jobs once said, the most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. Abraham Lincoln credited Harriet Stowe when she wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin. This powerful story inspired millions to rise up and fight against slavery. I think we can make Sound of Freedom the Uncle Tom's Cabin of 21st century slavery. This film was actually made 5 years ago and wasn't released till now, with every roadblock that you can imagine being tossed in the way. And the names you see here on the screen took a stand, and they made sure this story could be shown to all of you. And now all of you have the opportunity to continue telling this story. We don't have big studio money to market this movie, but we have you, and the baton has now been passed to you. You are the storytellers that can get people to come see this film in theaters. Sound of Freedom is a hero's tale, but I'm not talking about the character I play. It's the heroic brother and sister in this film that work to save each other. They are the true heroes. The most powerful person in this world is the storyteller. Together, we have a chance to make these two kids and the countless children that they represent the most powerful people in the world by telling their story in a way only the cinema can do. For a couple of months, while Sound of Freedom is in theaters, these kids can be more powerful than the cartel kingpins or presidents or congressmen or even tech billionaires. We believe this movie has the power to be a huge step forward toward ending child trafficking, but it will only have that effect if millions of people see it. Share the already available free tickets with as many friends as you can, or do both. Join us and millions of others as we ring Sound of Freedom and hope throughout the world. And just remember this, God's children are not for sale. Thank you.